everybody! I wanted to try doing an art journal vlog for the first time today. I felt like there were some things that I wanted to share with you that really didn't go into a process video and that would be fun to talk about. So the couple of things, I put some of this stuff down here just so you'd have something to look at. I was at the Dollar Tree tonight and I found small matchboxes, and I had looked for these because there were some ladies on International Crafters who were doing a swap making matchbox dressers, and they're these adorable miniature dressers, and they totally dolled them up with drawer knobs made out of jewelry, and like they put mirrors on the backs of the dressers and all kinds of little embellishments to make it look like sort of a dollhouse mixed media dresser, and I thought they were so cute. And so finally I found these tonight. I guess I just didn't know where to look. I felt silly when I saw them. I had looked in a couple of stores and they really only had the big ones with either small matches or the long matches. So I think I'm going to try out making a matchbox dresser, and I know so many people on here already go to Dollar Tree for their craft goods, but it was just a good reminder to go in there. I hadn't been in there for a while, and it reminded me how many craft goodies you can find in there. I didn't really mean for this to be a haul video, but there's just some other cool things that I found. So it's turning into a miniature haul, but I promise there are some interesting things to talk about too. I grabbed this mug because the background made me think of Tim Holtz, just that grungy, like stenciled look, and those look like his colors that he's always, he talks about how much he loves browns and vintage colors, and even the lettering made me think of his stencils. So I grabbed that for just $1, of course. And then there was just one more cool find. I didn't know that they came in this size except in that big sampler box that I see of Mod Podge. You can get, there's a sampler box with like 6 or 8 different types. You can try out their mattes, their colors, the glitter ones. So there was this baby matte one, and I hadn't tried the matte Mod Podge before. I've only tried the glossy. So I thought for you know, a small investment, these, and now that I'm holding this, I'm realizing it's the same size as like this type of acrylic paint. So this will last a while. So that was a cool find. I just saw the Mod Podge logo in the aisle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's Mod Podge here at the Dollar Tree. So these are the things that I get excited about, but I know that you guys get excited about them too. And then this is just a piece of scrap paper that I misted on with some of the newer ink sprays. Heidi Swap, her navy blue color shine. That is this one right here, and I hope that shows up for you nicely. It's really neat, and it has lots of glimmer. And then her amethyst color shine, I kind of accidentally covered it up over here, but you can see a little bit of it. That's a really pretty, very shimmery color. And the last one was the Tattered Angels Chalkboard Glimmer Mist, and the name is Teal High Heel. I couldn't see the teal part yesterday. I could just see the high heel, but they do these little color swatches on the outside of the bottle, and this is the first time I've ever bought one of the Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists, even though I have drooled over them so many times in the store. And it's really nice that they do this swatch because it's pretty darn close to this right here. That is the Teal High Heel, if you can see that color. And then I was messing around with some DIY glimmer mist also using tempera paint. If you ever want to try a paint that might not clog your bottle quite as much as acrylic paint when you're making your own glimmer mists. These are water-based and they are thinner than acrylic, so that might be worth a try in case. Anywho, there were a couple of book shares that I wanted to talk about, and that brought me to this page that I was working on yesterday. Anyway, the author is Meredith Dillman, and if you're interested in learning more about drawing faces and figures, mermaids, fairies, women, like historic women, because she goes through the ages, like she draws a Renaissance woman, she drew flappers, and she kind of goes through time. She doesn't cover like every area of time, that would be really hard to do, but she does cover a lot of different time periods with her figures. And then the book itself has a pretty long title, but I'll include it in the description below. Again, her name is Meredith Dillman, and I just happened to grab it on Kindle, so I don't have the hard copy of the book, but it taught me a lot already about coloring and shading and perspective and how to figure out where the elbow goes and how long the neck should be. And it also talks a lot about costumes and accessories and different time periods. And then there were some recommendations of websites where you can go for more information on drawing either historical figures or and it mostly focuses on women figures. I think there's some men there though, but it's fashion-era.com, and it's really interesting. It's kind of like, you know, the History Channel or the Discovery Channel, because you go on there and it not only gives you a lot of cool pictures and stuff that you can look through, and old magazine covers you can click on to look at different time periods, but it also talks a lot about why certain fashions were popular at that time and what caused women to wear certain types of hats or shoes. And one thing that was really interesting to me was that it talks a little bit about Victorian women and how they would dress to go to the beach, which I had never thought about before. But you know, you think about it, it's like, what would a Victorian woman wear to swim in? Because, you know, she would have to stay pretty covered up. And so it gives you some examples usually of that time period, and then it talks about like the reasons behind it. It's very interesting. So I'll link the book and that website link below. And going back to the book, another neat thing about it is you get a lot of really pretty finished prints that Meredith Dillman completed, and they are always in a background, and so it just gives you a lot of neat ideas for painting scenes and things like that in your art journal. That's the other book that you might have heard about already, because apparently it's #1 in mixed media, in drawing, and I believe in painting or maybe figure painting on Amazon. I know for sure it's #1 in mixed media right now. It's Jane Davenport's Drawing and Painting Beautiful Faces, I think is the exact title. And she has a really neat style. Like, it's very unique. You look at it and you know it's hers. Fairly inexpensive way of investing in making artistic faces, because it's less than $20, and so you don't have to necessarily buy a class, because that was one of the things I was looking into, was taking one of the online courses, and right now it's just out of my reach financially, you know what I mean? So it's good to have, you know, this book that, I don't know, I read last night, there was like 63 people reviewed it and everybody gave it 5 stars, so it's a pretty sure bet that it's going to be a really good, informative, fun book. So anyway, there's that. And the one question I have for you all is, like, and I know that probably most or all of you have come across this or come up against this in your own work, is when you really like an artist, how do you learn from them but not copy their style? That's the thing that I get stuck on, is it's like, okay, for example, with Jane Davenport, and I know, like, if you haven't seen her work, in fact, I'll try to upload a picture right now so that you can see what I'm talking about. I would really love to hear feedback about that, because it doesn't just apply to faces. I mean, it could apply to any type of style. And so I'd love to hear feedback about that. If you feel like sharing about, you know, any situations where you feel like you've come across that, if you've taken any, you know, online or in-person classes and that crossed your mind, where you thought, you know, I'm learning a style, but I want it to be my own style. So anyway, I hope you're having a good Sunday, and thanks for listening to my first art vlog. I hope there are going to be more, and please hit the like button if you liked it. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye!